Rifles. Rifles were the standard infantry weapon carried by most soldiers on all sides. They were bolt action, meaning each shot required manual cycling, but they were accurate over long distances and reliable in harsh trench conditions. Weapons like the British Lee Enfield and the German Mauser defined frontline combat, allowing soldiers to engage enemies hundreds of meters away. Machine guns. Machine guns brought a new level of firepower to the battlefield, capable of firing hundreds of rounds per minute. Heavy models like the Maxim gun were often mounted and operated by crews, turning open ground into deadly zones. Their presence made traditional charges extremely dangerous and forced armies into trench warfare. Pistols. Pistols were secondary weapons, mainly used by officers, pilots, and specialized troops. They were compact and easy to carry, making them useful in close-quarter situations such as trench raids. While less powerful and accurate than rifles, they provided a quick defense when primary weapons were impractical. Artillery. Artillery was the most destructive force in the war, responsible for the majority of casualties. Large guns fired explosive shells over long distances, often from miles away. Continuous bombardments could last for days, reshaping landscapes and destroying enemy defenses before infantry advances. Mortars. Mortars were short, portable artillery weapons designed to fire shells in a high arc. This allowed them to hit targets hidden behind trenches or obstacles. They were especially effective in trench warfare, where direct fire weapons struggled to reach enemies protected by earthworks. Grenades. Grenades were small explosive devices thrown by hand, widely used in trench fighting. They were ideal for clearing enemy positions in tight spaces where rifles were less effective. Early designs were simple, but over time, they became more reliable and easier to handle. Flamethrowers. Flamethrowers projected burning fuel toward enemy trenches, creating intense fear and chaos. First used by German forces, they were effective in close-range assaults. Although dangerous to operate and limited in range, they had a strong psychological impact on opposing troops. Poison gas. Poison gas introduced a new kind of warfare, targeting soldiers' ability to breathe and function. Chlorine, phosgene, and mustard gas were used to disrupt enemy lines and force troops out of trenches. Gas masks became essential equipment as armies adapted to this threat. Submachine guns. Submachine guns began to appear late in the war as compact automatic weapons. They fired pistol ammunition at a high rate, making them useful in close combat situations. Although not widely used yet, they pointed toward the future of infantry weapons. Tanks. Tanks were introduced to break the deadlock of trench warfare. These armored vehicles could cross rough terrain, crush barbed wire, and provide mobile protection for soldiers. Early models were slow and mechanically unreliable, but they marked the beginning of modern armored warfare. Aircraft weapons. Aircraft started the war as reconnaissance tools, but soon carried weapons like machine guns and small bombs. Pilots engaged in aerial combat, and planes were used to support ground forces. This added a new dimension to warfare above the battlefield. Naval guns. Naval guns were mounted on warships and used in sea battles and coastal bombardments. Battleships could fire massive shells over long distances, influencing both naval engagements and land operations near coastlines. Control of the seas depended heavily on these powerful weapons. Submarines. Submarines, especially German U-boats, were used to attack enemy ships from below the surface. They relied on stealth and torpedoes to disrupt supply lines. Their effectiveness changed naval strategy and brought new risks to merchant shipping. Bayonets. Bayonets were blades attached to the end of rifles, turning them into close combat weapons. They were used in trench assaults, where fighting often came down to hand-to-hand encounters. Though simple, they remained a symbol of infantry combat. Barbed wire. Barbed wire was not a weapon in the traditional sense, but played a crucial role in defense. It was used to slow down or trap advancing soldiers, making them easy targets for machine guns and rifles. It shaped the battlefield by reinforcing the static nature of trench warfare. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Nair Facts for more videos like this.